Two top 10 matches in volleyball today. One of them went 3 sets. One went 5, maybe surprises on both sides. And hey, football is back in 2023. It's underway now in the NAIA. The paint bucket is what is at stake tonight. I'm Joey McWilliams here on Midwest Sports Net. Let's talk some volleyball first as we talk about the rematch of the 2020 National Championship, a top 10 matchup between number 8 Missouri Baptist and number 9 Midland, and Midland comes away with a sweep tonight. Midland 3-0 over Missouri Baptist, and so Midland now 2-0 on the year. It is the first loss of the season for the Spartans, who now fall to 6-1. Abby Ringler for Midland with 16 kills. She hit .542 on the night. Brenna Mackling and Brielle Power in the 6-2 set for Coach Gieselman. 21 assists for Mackling, 18 assists for Power. For Missouri Baptist tonight, Gabby Jakubowska with 16 kills. She hit .343. This one was a fun one to watch, and it was tight in the early going. Missouri Baptist gets out in the first set, lead. Midland comes back and forth, and just a little bit too much of the Warriors near the end of the first set. Really started to assert themselves a little bit more in the second set, and the third set just dominated, and so it was a sweep. Coach Gieselman, after the match, said, "I didn't see this coming," as he was probably expecting a 5-set match. It's been that way before. It was a 5-set match when these two teams met for the NAIA championship in 2020, went to 15-12. Not the case tonight. And Midland is not shying away from anyone in their own festival, as they have 3 top 10 teams. You've got number 8 Missouri Baptist, number 2 Corbin, which is the next match, and number 7, Viterbo. I'm still used to Viterbo being number 9 last year. Also along the way, get to take on Grandview, a team that did not have the season that it wanted last year, but is starting off well. We'll talk about them just a little bit more later on. Number 1 versus number 10. Now, this is a top 10 matchup because the rankings have not been re-released. So the rankings, not ratings, in the NAIA volleyball have Jamestown still at number 1 and Southwestern Assemblies of God at number 10. But those are the preseason rankings. Since that time, Jamestown is 1-3. Sagu is 0-4, and they meet in San Antonio. You have to think something has to give for one of these teams, and that was the case. But it took quite a while for that to happen. In fact, went quite the distance in set number 1, 31-29, as Southwestern Assemblies of God wins the first set, wins the second set. And then Coach Hegerly, I believe, had something to say to fire up his team. They turned things around, win sets 3 and 4, 25-10 and 25-13. And then back and forth through the 5th set. Looked like Jamestown was staying with it. Sagu pulls away some big kills from Bailey Alexander in that 5th set, and 15-12 the final score. Sagu gets its first win of the season, now 1-4. Jamestown also 1-4, still the number 1 team in the country right now. Bailey Alexander, I mentioned her. She had 11 kills on the night. Big ones in set number 5. Riley Burcham for Sagu, 35 assists, 14 digs, and 5 kills. For Jamestown, it was Grace Hegerly and Aaliyah Zieski, a pair of juniors, each with 12 kills on the night. Hegerly with 4 digs, Zieski with 15 digs on the night. So those are your top 10 matchups in volleyball. Let's skip over to football for just a moment, because football is back. NAIA football tonight, the battle for the paint bucket, and that took place at Valley City State tonight. And the Vikings come away with a 23-15 victory over the Jimmies, as big night for Avery Thorsgaard. Had a couple of touchdown passes, led his team well. Probably the big player of the night for Valley City State was Ricky Gerhardt, who had 14 tackles on the night, 2.5 sacks, and that included the game-sealing sack with about 2.5 minutes to go, as Jamestown was in Valley City State territory, rolling. You get down to 4th and long, and Gerhardt in the backfield again. 2.5 sacks on the night. This one was as big as they come. 14 tackles. Gerhardt, very likely the player of the game. We'll give it to him, player of the game. Total offense for both these teams tonight, quite even. It was a back-and-forth match, as Jamestown went up 8-7 early, but Valley City State came back with a couple of touchdowns, took the 20-8 lead, and then able to hold on an Andrew Nielsen 31-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. That was the insurance points for the night. Total offense for the night, Valley City State 332 yards, Jamestown 335 yards. And realistically, Valley City State should have been on the top end of that. Lost 8 yards with a couple of victory formation kneel downs, but just a very evenly played game, a well-played matchup, and the paint bucket goes back to Valley City State, stays right there. The game was held in Valley City State tonight. Let's go back to volleyball here with Viterbo, the number 7 team in the country, over Grandview in 4 sets. And we talked about Grandview. Not bad to take Viterbo to 4 sets. Viterbo now 5-0 on the year. That's the first time the V-Hawks have given up a set this season. Kenzie Winker with 20 kills, 10 digs. Grace Rohde with 16 kills and 15 digs. A pair of double-doubles right there. For Grandview, Jenna Bentz with 26 assists and 11 digs on the night. Number 20, Southern Oregon, with a pair of wins on the day. Southern Oregon sweeps Pacific Union. Marin Mackey had 11 kills and hit 429 in that one. Sweeps Simpson. Megan Perry had 12 kills and hit 417 in that one. And Southern Oregon is now 7-1 on the year. Menlo continues to shine on the season. A victory over Warner Pacific today in 3 sets. Paige Harmon with 16 assists, 5 digs, and 5 service aces on the day. Kaiser over Cumberland and Fisk. Cumberland in 4 sets, as Kaiser had Brooklyn Slater with 18 kills, Hannah Heidi with 36 assists. Kaiser brought out some additional players that hadn't seen as much time this season in the sweep over Fisk. London Tangway with 11 kills, hit 476. Josephine Mulligan with 20 assists on the night, and Erica Megan with 20 digs and 3 service aces. Montana Western swept Arizona Christian today in surprise. Arizona, Jordan Olson for the Bulldogs with 10 kills. She hit 714 on the day. And University of Mobile over Western International in 3 sets. Kendall Lee Frazier with 11 kills. She hit 412 on the day. So Valley City State, the Vikings over the Jamestown Jimmies by 8 in NAIA football. Folks, football is back. That is big. And then our 2 top 10 matchups, the big one being the rematch of the 2020 National Championship. That goes to Midland, now 2-0 on the year. Missouri Baptist, 6-1 on the year. Both trending upward, and we'll see how Midland fares tomorrow. Don't forget that on Saturday, we're going to be live on location. Midwest Sports Saturday will be at Langston, as the Langston Lions will play host to the Mid-American Nazarene Pioneers. So that should get underway, our coverage, at 4 o'clock, and we'll be there throughout the night and wrap things up from Langston as well, and try our best to stay hydrated and stay cool. That was a big thing. We don't want our equipment to get overheated, so we'll work on that. Anyway, thanks for watching tonight. God bless you all. We appreciate that, and continue to enjoy the videos here on Midwest Sportsnet as we enjoy talking about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond. Thanks again for being here tonight. More on the way this week. God bless you. Have a great night.